Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Our MFC. I hope you're all well and had a great weekend. In today's episode, it's going to be a review of the Derby game. So let's just get straight into it. There's, nothing too much to cover. Starting off really with the way that we started. I thought the way that we started was really poor, if I'm being honest. It was a little bit scrappy. We gave Derby a little bit too much of the ball at times. It was just poor all round, and kind of like the previous games, we didn't really make the most of like using the ball when we actually did have it, which I was disappointed with because going down to Derby. No disrespect to Derby at all. Obviously, they've had a lot of financial problems lately. But I just think it was a little bit disappointing. I thought we were going to, especially after the QPR game, go out firing on all cylinders, really get at them, put them under pressure, especially, with them being at home. If you can kind of get under the fans' skin, kind of get them a little bit worried, it kind of rubs off on the players. So I thought if we could have done that, that'd have been, a brilliant way to go about it. We took plenty of fans down there that were absolutely excellent as always. But yeah, really disappointed with the start. And to be fair, once again, Ikpeazu absolutely worked his socks off. There was a few times, well, he had Curtis Davies, I think it was, that was pretty much man marking him. And to be fair, he had both of them in his pocket all night, him and Jagielka. To be fair, it was quite funny actually. I seen a tweet saying that I think Derby's defence, their combined age was something ridiculous, like 120 something. Like it was a ridiculous. Like they're all in like the late 30s. But no, Ikpeazu's just an absolute bully, isn't he? He's just a unit, and any defender that comes up against him this season is really going to struggle. But I thought his pressing once again was excellent. There was plenty of kind of empty balls that were kind of put through, that he put pressure on the defenders. He made the Derby players make a decision, like the goalkeeper. It was just rolled out to the goalkeeper. He was straight on them, chasing every ball. So yeah, like you said, absolutely love to see it. Warnock's made plenty of comments on the way that Ikpeazu's attitude's been towards just joining the club and giving it his all. And like I've said in previous interviews that we've done, that we can't ask for anything more in a football player at this club. He's came in with on a lot less money, Warnock says, as well. And he's just fighting for the team and putting himself about. And like you said, that's all we can ask for. Another player that's absolutely given it his all is obviously Isaiah Jones. He was once again a constant threat throughout. And our only threat, really, I think, going forward at the minute, he's just offers us that something different, which is amazing to see. He's kind of burst onto the scene, came out of nowhere, really. No one going into this season expected someone like Isaiah to be starting week in, week out and being our star man. But as daft as it sounds, we haven't had anyone since Adama that kind of, I'm not saying, because he's not Adama, he can't do what he does on the level that he did it at, but it's his style of play. He gets the ball, as soon as he's got it, he wants to go forward. He's always looking to turn his man, get past his man, and just that directness. And that, I've always me and Ben have spoke about it, having that player that's going to, he's 1v1 with his man. And what does he do? He just takes him on, goes to the byline, whips a ball in, or, picks a man out because he's got a brilliant cross on him as well. And we've seen that a few times. But yeah, I thought he was brilliant. And the only disappointment was that he didn't get the ball enough. Because I think he was isolated at times and a little bit frustrated out wide. But apart from that, once again, our star man, so he deserves the chance. going into the second half though, I thought we were much, much better. We started with a lot more energy. We were a bit more direct, purposeful with the ball. So, there was a couple of times where Morsey had the ball and it'd get played into Cruxy, and then they'd play like a 1-2 with Ikpeazu, or it'd come out wide, put balls into the box. We just did more with the ball. There was more like a buzz about us. So I've got no doubt that, Warnock will have probably rammed a rocket up their ass in half time. But yeah, much, much better. The only downside I would say is we should have started like that in the first half. But it happens. It's one of them kind of games, really. But yeah, like I said, really, really good start to the second half. And one thing I was really happy to see was Joe Lumley. He was absolutely excellent against Derby and had to be up there really for man of the match. It was between him and Isaiah, but I would probably go with Lumley because in the end, he made some brilliant saves and ultimately kept us in the game at times. There was a few in the first half when Derby were really pressing, really going for the game. And he was the difference, really. He made some excellent saves to keep us in the game. And coming off that QPR game, he got a lot of stick, a lot of critics saying that he wasn't good enough. And he's kind of just gone to that Derby game and proved his worth. So hopefully he can kind of keep up them performances. Then he's got his first clean sheet under his belt, and hopefully he can kick on from there. Fingers crossed there, because it's about time we had a keeper that was decent, especially consider. Well, we haven't had a proper keeper, have we, since Randolph? But let me know your thoughts on Lumley. Is he going to be a keeper that is going to prove his worth this season, or is he going to flop? Is he going to be too inconsistent? Let us know in the comments. And if you listen on the podcast, just let us know on social what you think. Kind of record this snippet and, post your answer if you like. What was nice to see was, after we'd been pressing in the second half, we did come out with a couple of chances. Big ones really that stick out were the Johnny Howson one out the back post. Keeper made a brilliant save, so there's nothing more he could have done with that, really. He tried to put it back across the keeper, but he's just got his leg out and great save. And then it was a ball in, wasn't it, to Crooks in the middle, and he flicks it on, but just comes off the bar. But one of them, because you look at them chances, there's nothing more you can really do with it. Thought the Crooksy one was going to go in. But there's nothing more you can do in that situation. In the end, like I say, the keeper did enough. We just lacked that little bit extra in the final third, really. There was, like I say, I think if we gave Isaiah the ball a bit more, we'd have created a little bit more, we'd have buzzed a bit more. Tav wasn't firing on all cylinders. I don't know if that's because of his injury, but he wasn't up to scratch, really. And I think, when Tav's on form, it's a different game altogether. So I think if we had him give the ball to Isaiah more, we'd have probably created some more chances. But we didn't really test the keeper, if you're thinking about it, in all honesty. And I think that first half really, kind of cost us the game. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the game. Let us know in the comments. But that's my quick little review of Derby. We go to Blackburn. Well, Blackburn come to us at the Riverside on Saturday. Mogger back at the Riverside. So let us know your score predictions for that as well. But please, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and go and subscribe to our other channel, the OurMFC clips as well, because we're going to be posting all the interviews that we do, little mini clips and snippets of them interviews and how they've gone, and little teasers like that. So make sure you subscribe to that one. If you're listening on the podcast, please leave a review, because honestly, it takes 2 seconds, means the world. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. But stick around for more content, because like I said, we've got loads of interviews coming. So yeah, peace out, guys.